That's.
Board of
Yeah,
Adjustment.
3 days.
I'd like to call a meeting of the Board of Adjustment to order. Can I have a roll call?
Brian Sinden.
Jay Ballmiller.
Travis Schurz,
Debbie Murphy.
Ed Wilson, planning and zoning. Can we get the pledge of allegiance?
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the last meeting. If I could get someone to make a motion to approve,
I'll motion to approve.
Second.
all those in favor,
Aye.
all those opposed? All right, minutes are passed. Approved. All right, new business is 26 North Sixth Street. Variance request for adding a driveway, widening his driveway. Wrong, right?
Yes.
If you could explain what we got going.
Basically, I want to extend to the property line. There's two foot offset in ordinances currently, and that was going to be right on my edge of my wheel. I'd like to go a little bit farther to the property line, just to avoid more off the slab, line, backing trailer in and pulling out. It's good thoughts, a little damage if it happened to hit just right on. I guess that's pretty much the reason I'm here.
With your proposed here, even at the street, though, that's not within ordinance either, because your driveway at the street can only be as wide as the garage. 30 foot or as wide as the garage, and that's it.
So my understanding is that 30 foot.
Um,
And Ryan, I guess for.
well, it's, when you read it, it says no driveway or curb cut in residential district shall exceed the width of 30 feet, no driveway or curb cut in the NRC district shall exceed width of 30 foot except where determined necessary by the city, but not to exceed 40 foot. So everything that's been done in the past, even 8 years ago when I built my house in town, the only way you could get more than the width of your garage was if your garage was wide. So,
is that written elsewhere?
what's
Is
that?
that written elsewhere?
Written?
Is that what you're referring to written somewhere else? Because the way I read that, doesn't matter how wide the driveway is, it just says you can make it 30 feet wide.
So everybody's done in the past where Ryan, where was that at? That said the width of it, well, that's where it goes up to 40.
It's just the conformity that in everybody has followed in the past that the driveway can be up to 30 feet. And that was back in the day when everybody was like a 2-stall garage,
Right,
but that's like everybody, and you looked in all the developments, they just went to the width of your garage. So
They have
those,
amended
you know, they went 24 feet, because that's garage is. It was up to that maximum of 30 feet, so if you had a 30-foot garage, and go to 30 feet. If you had a 2-stall garage that was 36 feet, you would only be limited to that 30
Right.
feet. With the newer, the way it is, now everybody has a 3-stall garage, that's where it's, you know, everybody's kind of to that 36, but the driveway cutoff has been in the past exactly usually what the width of your garage and Baltic Heights, it's the width of the garage door. So this is where on these, they can, you know, there's nothing to stop them from, because everything's conformed in other areas to go with your garage, because that's what everybody, all the other areas have been. They just went with their garage doors to save money for that developer, but nothing's wider, has been wider unless someone's done.
Not until you get past the sidewalk. So they amended it and added the not to exceed 40 foot when they did Valley View Edition and everybody's putting 3-stall garages. Because they
Yeah, you
want
don't take up the
as
entire-
wide as the garage,
Right.
so that's when it got amended at 40 foot. where the city
Right.
deems it necessary, but everything, so even when I got mine, they told me that I couldn't go the 40 foot because of the garage width. And then anything that I wanted to put outside of that had to start after the property line on your property and then angle out or rear out to get the width of your parking pad.
Now, I do know one case where before the ordinances were rewritten, that they're to the property line. And they're past the garage, the full slab. 106, the north or south 6th Street is the house, if you want to take a look at it.
No, we know, but once the ordinances are written to what they are though, then anything that was pre that is still pre that, yes. But everything now, well, just your exact thing is when you're, say your neighbor now, so you port to the property line, now your neighbor's gonna be here getting a variance next week, doing the same thing, so now it's gonna be concrete from house to house.
Right.
I would not agree with that. So that's the point of having the green spaces and stuff, and lot lines and stuff, because, I mean, technically, there's a 7 foot easement alongside your property line there for utilities and everything. Every property in Baltic's got that same easement, so you put your pad in there. Phone company comes in, needs to do something, they clear it out, they don't have to put it back. Because you put it in the,
Yeah,
so, but the whole point is, we don't want concrete. That's why Ryan's always held pretty tight on this thing. Don't want concrete garage to garage. So, making your driveway as wide as the garage and then angling over past the lot line like we've made, everybody else do here in the last.
And and I presented to them what we have done, and this was in the past too, and I don't think I was up for the Valley View, I don't think I was here I'm gonna just go off the basis, that's after the sidewalk. I think yours cuts out, and I think it comes over right up
Mine's,
to your sidewalk.
mine's at the sidewalk. They allowed me to go, I think I'm 2 or 2.5 feet wide at the sidewalk, just so I didn't have a corner point that breaks off, so it's a little wider. But then it tapers over.
And that's what what I presented and what has been in a couple of other ones is you come straight out from the edge of your garage. From that point at the curb line, since Baltic Heights doesn't have sidewalks, what I allow, because someday there will be sidewalks, is you'll have 4 feet into the right of way, which would be a sidewalk.
Sidewalk.
And then from that point, then you angle it from your driveway cut out to that. So it's not like a huge, it's not straight out to the curb, but it's got what I would say was a decent angle for people to come in and pull into a spot. But then we're doing it 2 feet off the property line, and then it's just with that 4 foot, because they're gonna get sidewalks someday, maybe, but it does give them a little bit better of a time to patch up and pull off. But that's it, I'm just kind of following what has been done. When I was here previously, what was done before for everybody's garage, it's pretty much, other than the older parts of town, that a lot of stuff is done, I think, economically for the homeowners. It's usually the width of their driveway, garage door, or maybe a little bit wider. But from probably 2010, when I was here, it was the width of your garage, unless you had a 3.5 stall deep garage that was over 40 feet, because then that is not allowed.
Yeah, that's just where my question stemmed from, is what writing states that? You know, if it's just common practice, I understand that, but
And it's always been common practice that
Right.
whatever you cut out is within your garage.
right,
Even in.
And should that,
these too.
right, but should that be in writing somewhere in here? If it's
And
not in the subdivision regulations or something, because I want to get caught with their pants down saying you can't do that when it clearly states that. it can be
So,
30
with
feet
that
wide.
being said, Travis, it does state, no driveway shall exceed the width of 30 feet. So there's
Right.
nothing that says that it has to be 30 feet. There's nothing that says there's a minimum there.
Right,
If you don't have a garage.
yeah, but I'm just, yeah, there's,
And that's why it goes, it's whatever.
Yeah, I understand.
Recommendation, and then it comes to you guys.
yeah, I understand common, building practice, obviously, I'm just, if that's not something that's in writing, then maybe that's something that
And that's
that being writing.
there's different things that we have to do.
Yeah.
Because I know even with getting the books on some topology, like what we have.
Right.
With schools and they're on the property line. There are a couple different things that we actually have to do within this book to make it to the best practice.
Yeah, and we've talked about that for years of things need updated. I'm sure that can follow suit, but I just want to make the conversation of where I was coming from and the point made that maybe this is an oversight that should be corrected on.
And it's always been the best practice.
Yeah,
And what we've got.
absolutely.
Question. So I came up and I looked at your place yesterday, and I see that your camper is not parked on the side of your garage. It's parked in front of it because you're gonna hit your overhangs. I noticed it's not, way on, right on the side. Oh, you have it there? Oh, when I took a picture. Okay, so then you have. Let me see. But then there's the electrical box there, and that's my real concern. How far are you from the electrical box? Because it says right on there, you have to be 3 foot away. Is that how far you are? Well, you're concrete.
All the concrete.
Well, it says everything has to be 3 foot away. It says that on the box. I was just wondering about that. I didn't get on it.
Concrete counters.
Well, it says.
Yeah, you can't put anything on
Put anything.
electrical box within 3
Yeah,
feet.
it's what, 10 foot in the front and 3 foot on the other 3
The
sides.
only thing that could be in the front is a sidewalk because they put them on the lot line. But you can't put anything else around.
Okay, so are you 3 foot away? You said no?
It would not.
Oh,
You can see on the side there, it's right next to it.
okay. I can't see what the dimensions are.
Yeah, it's
You're about,
it's less than that.
yep, less than
Yeah.
a foot is where the angle is.
So really you can't
You'd
do
probably
it then
be,
because of the electrical.
yeah, not per house drawn up.
If this was moved over.
Yeah, if you
You
could,
could do what the rec state or with the book that says 2 feet off your building, then you can keep it over.
Yes.
Maybe that one little corner, that's probably, that's pretty huge, but it would still have almost.
you could move lines around enough to accommodate.
It would, yeah, it
You
would,
get a
it's still give it about as much space as he could get if it would fall in the full path. For being 2 feet off your property, like, yeah, right now, it's 3/4 of a foot. And you'd be 2 feet off your foot is quarter off, but then you get that angle wherever it lays out. That's the hard part, I think, I'm not sure, it's it's in the right of way, so then it's back from backside of this property, so then it can be exposed. If you choose. And not, you would have a knock out there.
Yep.
It's only 2 feet off, 9 feet off. but-
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about on the property line though either. I mean, obviously it wouldn't be it would suck if somebody wanted to come in there and tear it up to run utilities or whatever in there. And it's super easy now when you and your neighbor are in agreeance. I mean, it's from your aspect, it's kind of a no brainer. It's the logistical aspect on top of it. Of the next owners, are we gonna hear, if somebody else comes and buys your house and buys a neighbor's house, well, I don't want, I want to put a fence up to the front end. Now I gotta tear out all this concrete. It's kind of forward thinking, but it's hard to plan for the next guy, but
Come back, power come straight back.
that's what I wondered too, if there's a box right there. Have you got a locate done at all?
For the,
On your property, if there's any utilities or anything that run through that gap?
I had. I don't recall, but I assume there's a pedestal in the back, so I'm sure the secondary goes back there.
I really have a hard time covering them up if there's actual utilities. It's different if it's free space where there's no utilities running underneath it, but especially if there's utilities underneath it, I don't know that you'd really want to cover them up with concrete. You know what I mean? Has anybody ever done this before? Like, has there ever been properties that butt up concrete?
Well, not side to side.
Right. I mean, not that I drive around and look at everybody's properties in every town. Just curious if anybody-
I've never seen one where I've been driving.
Yeah,
around with
and it's-
touch.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty rare you run into a side yard like that, that's just tight enough where
Yeah.
it'd be nice to have
There's houses. in St.
extra
Paul's
space.
that Butt up against each other, but those houses are like 60 to 80 years old.
Yeah, where they actually share driveways kind of,
Yeah.
but they don't, most of them don't have a garage out front either. They're in the back.
They're all. Right.
Because I'm sure the secondary is on the neighbor's property, and that's where all the pedestals are, 2, 3 feet on his property.
Sure,
So I'm sure they're running on his property anyway because of my fence there.
right.
But that's what's I would think. As far as the width of the garage, if you look at this picture, if I put the concrete here at the width of my garage, like, that doesn't even make sense to do the project.
If you're just going to the edge of the garage, you're saying?
Yeah, and then they go over, it's like I'm driving right here with the camper. Like, here's the edge of the garage right there.
Right,
If I would have put the concrete there, this doesn't even make sense to do the project.
working with a tight space.
And if it's not written, we can really,
Yeah, we can go by general practice.
you can.
Yes, because it says it shall not exceed 30 foot. There's nothing that says that
Yeah, I wouldn't-
it says it can't exceed 30 foot, but when every house that gets built now, they're the same width as the garage. That's common practice. That's standard build.
But you're talking new homes, all not existing.
So when do you draw the line? So I mean,
Versus business.
so then we'll have every place in town wanting to do the same thing. So That's the problem. That's where we gotta look at is, we let you pour concrete right to your property line. Everybody else is gonna wanna pour their concrete to the property line. So then we're gonna have concrete from garage to garage all over town. If we let you put
Tight
the,
squeeze.
past the width of your garage. Everybody else that's got a narrow garage like that's gonna wanna do the same thing. So it's, when do you draw the line? So anytime you put a curb cut in, you have to get a permit to change the width of your driveway. Right, we have a permit for doing the width of the driveway, don't we?
You do any concrete work.
Yeah, so anybody that comes in and wanna do anything, whether it's a new home, old home, or whatever, change your driveway. You have to present it just like you did and say, yep, your garage is 24 foot wide, you're good to go. So that's where the common practice comes in, where you'll be here, anybody that wants to go wider than a garage will be in the same spot you are right now. Because Ryan won't give them a permit for that. Because everybody that has come in the last year, they've all gone behind the sidewalk and poured it at an angle and put the pad. And I do know you can back a camper in around there. I do it all the time. But you're right, it's easier to back straight in, but you just gotta make sure you drive the right direction and back in.
With the overhang, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, it's a tight squeeze. Absolutely.
So obviously, if this isn't gonna pass, I won't be doing concrete, so as landscaping, you can do that all the way up to the top of the links.
Landscaping,
You know, it's landscaping, any type of landscaping.
yeah, you can put landscaping in, but you also can't park a camper on landscaping. It's gotta be a hard paved surface to park it in next to your garage. That's an ordinance. We don't have that one printed out here, but I do know that anytime your vehicle, anything you got parked there has to be on a hard concrete surface.
What a friend,
Oh,
what a friend of mine did, is he poured a concrete pad next to his house. And in front of that is landscape rock.
Do that again?
for
Friend of
your,
mine, he poured the concrete pad right next to the garage where his camper sits.
Oh, okay.
But in front of that, towards the street, is landscape rock. That's an option.
and then keep your pad off, you can back straight up. Yeah, you'd be tight on the one side, but you can make it work.
Because my biggest issue is the transformer box is right there. And I really don't see a hardship for variance. That's my issue. So I apologize for that, but I think you can,
What you're here for.
yeah, you can put that concrete pad and then, landscape rock up to it, and then if you reinforce that landscape rock, it shouldn't settle too terrible.
Yeah, because you can put the landscape rock alongside the concrete pad too.
That'll give you a little bit more buffer zone to go through. I get it.
Need somebody to make a motion to,
Any other discussion?
or if there's any other discussion on it.
I'll make a motion to deny the variance.
Second.
All those in favor?
I,
Those opposed? Motion passed. Thank you. Thank you.
for your time.
Just a little bigger lot. Been easy.
All right, we will call the meeting adjourned. If I can get a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
You're good. I'll second.
Travis second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Meeting adjourned.